So I actually finished recording this video before Chili Room released the trailer for Season 2, which is called Mecha Crisis. And they changed something about the season system after I finished recording this and writing the script, so some info here is definitely outdated, but I'll remind you when the time comes. Before we start this video, be sure to know that all of this information is found on the prequel.chiliroom.com website, as well as summarized inside the Soul Knight Prequel Discord server. But, well, since you guys are gamers, of course you don't know how to read and, like, act like a human being and something like that. So I'll be the one reading it for you. Okay, so first, there are 4 terms that you need to know. Permanent characters, aka non-seasonal characters, seasonal characters, non-seasonal items, as well as seasonal items. Got it? Remember those. So the very first season of SKP was Season 0, which was called Romance Dawn. But now Season 1 comes to a close pretty soon. And there might be a lot of you who started on Season 1 and don't know how the season transition kind of works. So let's start off with the most commonly asked question, which is, do my Season 1 characters get wiped? Which is no, you keep all of your characters, so don't worry about that. You get to keep every character you make, but there will be some changes. Other things that will be kept are your gems, chest keys, card pack vouchers, and eggs. All of those items listed are shared by all characters, so they won't really be wiped. So, to explain the character changes, let's go back to the first 2 terms that I told you to remember, which are permanent characters, aka non-seasonal characters, and seasonal characters. So check it out. On my character select screen, I have 2 characters with me, Hydra FI and Peace. Peace is marked with a banner to signify that she was made in the current ongoing season, which is Season 1. As of recording this video anyway. This means that Peace is a seasonal character. Hydra FI was created in Season 0, meaning that the banner is absent because Season 0 is not the current season. It's already over. This makes Hydra FI a permanent character. So what's the difference? A seasonal character can access the content of the current ongoing season, as well as participate in the current season's Proving Grounds leaderboards, provided by the Valkyrie. Permanent characters cannot access the seasonal content, meaning they cannot go to the continent of Zandu, as well as being able to access the Proving Grounds leaderboards. And I'm sure this will be true for future seasons as well. Now this is actually where the outdated information is, because when Chili Room released the trailer like yesterday, or maybe it was today, I don't remember, it was revealed that permanent characters can now actually access seasonal content. Now I don't know why they changed this, but from what I've heard, this is actually apparently the only thing they've changed, because permanent characters still will not be able to access the Proving Grounds leaderboards. Another thing that will happen during the season transition is that your fruits and ores that you acquired in the current season will be merged with your permanent fruits as well as your permanent ores. This is because permanent ores and permanent fruits are shared amongst all permanent characters, and the same goes for your seasonal fruits and seasonal ores, so once the season ends, they will merge. Now, we'll get into what people are definitely getting confused by the most, which is something about stats being halved. This whole thing about stats being halved is definitely what gets people confused at the most. But remember, you can always find information on things that are very important, such as this, somewhere. Okay, so I forgot to record this part, so this is where I tell you to join the Soul Knight Prequel Discord server, because there might be some of you who haven't joined yet or didn't know that it existed, so yeah, I'll let past me advertise this for you. Anyway, see ya. This Discord server is, well, an SKP Discord server, so if you ever needed anything, you can always find it here. There are tons of channels that can help you here, such as if you ever think that your build kinda sucks, you can always go to the Build Showcase channel. When you're here, hit the tags button and pick whichever class that you have and copy it. You can ask questions on the SKP discussion channels or the help and support channel. You can also see fan art that people have made of your favorite characters. Or you can also see art of characters that people used. Such as this one, which has a big boy sword. Cool, ain't it? And one more thing, I am an artist myself, so you might find me from time to time posting fan art there. So if you do see some of my art, please react to it with as many emojis as you fucking can. This isn't a favor, I know your location. That's just a joke, don't actually do that. So halved item stats are what people get confused by the most, so let's remember those last two terms that I gave. Non-seasonal items and seasonal items. Same with characters, seasonal items are obtained in the current ongoing season, and will turn into permanent/non-seasonal items once the season ends. Now here is misconception number 1, where people think that when an item becomes non-seasonal, its stats get halved, but that's wrong. The thing about this stats being halved thing is that it only happens when one condition is met. And that is if a seasonal character uses a non-seasonal piece of equipment. That's it. So basically, if a character from the current ongoing season, which is currently Season 1, equips an item from Season 0, then they can still equip it, but the stats will be halved. But once Season 1 ends and Season 2 begins, Season 1s will be turned to permanent characters, meaning that they can wear permanent equipment that was gathered in previous seasons. So why is that the case? It's mainly so that players will be incentivized to farm for new gear rather than use pre-prepared ones. But if you don't care about the stats being halved, you're still free to use it. Do note that this doesn't work the other way around. Permanent characters can wear any equipment with no downsides, whether it's seasonal or not. So, this is a warning to all of you who think that you can grind out gear in preparation of the next season. The stats will get halved, unless you don't care for some reason. Note, however, that it's only the stats that are halved. Fate bounds and modifiers are unaffected. Now, you might be asking, is that what's the point of starting over from scratch if you said earlier that permanent characters can now access the seasonal content? And one thing why I think they changed that is so that, because once you grind out a permanent character to like godhood to the point that it's unkillable and has all the perfect gears, then yeah, there's practically nothing left for that permanent character to do aside from rot away, which is, I think, the reason why they allowed permanent characters to access the seasonal content. But again, as I said, their permanent characters still will not be able to access the seasonal leaderboards for the Proving Grounds, Valkyrie, whatever, yada yada. Now, the Proving Grounds leaderboards is actually kind of somewhat important to the community because, yeah, it might just be a place where you can just climb floors and the whole point is to just kill a bunch of mobs, but people do compete for this to get the highest floors because there is one thing you get, and that is Carnelian rank, which has pretty good rewards. Well, I say pretty good, but the reward is really mainly just, a costume. But it is a costume that looks pretty fucking cool, so yeah, people will still definitely make their their new seasonal characters because it's a cool costume. Cool costume, neuron activation, me monkey brain want. So yeah, we're still definitely going to be doing this. And in my personal opinion, it doesn't really bother me that much. Yeah, there are always going to be those types of players that just join level 50 games just to level up easier. But I'm not really here to judge you people because it's a valid way of playing the game, honestly. After all, Soul Knight Prequel is a game, and it's meant to be enjoyed. How you play, whether you're a grindy man or a insta-level 50 man, how you play really doesn't matter as long as you're having fun. And people shouldn't be judging you for that, and if they do judge you, then they're the real losers for telling you how you should play a game and that there's a right way and a wrong way. I mean, there is, but we also have our own ways of enjoying, so don't let them stop you.